Okay, so today we're leaving Bohol. Alright, we made it. 2-hour ferry ride, Cebu City. Was pretty shitty. We ended up sitting outside, not in the air conditioning. Bad choice, the seats are horrible. So we only got a few hours in Cebu, so we figured we'd try to see the entire city before we leave tomorrow. Luckily, Maya found this kind of cool thing which will allow us to see the entire city in about, I don't know, 10 minutes. So. So it's 6 in the morning, and we're off to the airport to go to Boracay. Yeah. Breakfast. Taxi. Starbucks. Check-in. Gate. Bus. Runway. Plane. Bathroom. Van. Minivan. So when I was planning this trip to the Philippines, Boracay was actually one of my top destinations. But after traveling a little in the Philippines, talking to locals, talking to other travelers, everyone told me that Boracay was horrible and it's unclean and it's expensive and noisy. It is pretty expensive, but it's not that noisy and it's not that dirty either. I mean, I've been to Phuket, which is like Thailand's Boracay, and that's a lot worse and a lot more depressing. It's actually kind of nice. So me and Maya are going to kick back and relax here for about 2-3 days. You know, a vacation within a vacation, really. Today we try to head out to the beach, but as you can see, it's really rainy season right now in Boracay, and it's just like every few hours there's massive thunderstorm showers coming down. Most of the beach now is protected by these kind of screens. They're just like everywhere. They kind of make the place look a little ugly. Isn't this romantic?
Wait, my hair.
What's about your hair?
Oh, take it up. Stop. Cut.
Nope. So the entire beach front of White Beach, which is where, like, you know, most of the hotels are, it's quite beautiful, but it's like a boardwalk essentially. There's businesses, restaurants, bars, and everything. Very touristy, very expensive, but yeah, if you have the money for it, it's not a bad time. You see, despite the rain and wind, there are still people enjoying the beach. It's actually nicer in the water probably when the weather's like this. I was in the pool before and it was great. See, the majority of the beaches here have these sand and wind barriers, which kind of blocks the nice view, but also makes it a little nicer to walk. Everything is kind of like half open right now. Hopefully the rain will slow down a little bit. our third and last day in Boracay, and so far it's been quite enjoyable. I'll be honest with you, I didn't expect Boracay to be anywhere near as nice as, you know, it is. Maybe it's the low season again. I think that's a big factor of me enjoying this place. This is essentially like a small resort version of your bigger resort towns in the world, like Cancun and like Phuket. It still has this quaint feeling, you know. It's not. It is very overdeveloped, but it's all on like a small scale. You don't have too many humongous resorts on the main strip, at least. I wouldn't recommend spending more than like 3 days here though, 2 or 3 days, because honestly there's not that much to see, and whatever tours you can take, you're probably better off taking them in other places where they're cheaper than here, because the tours here are kind of ridiculously overpriced. Like even renting a scooter here is like 3,000 pesos a day, which is like 6, 7 times the norm. So what you want to do in Boracay basically is if you like the party here, the nightlife here it's okay, and then you also got one of the most beautiful beaches in the Philippines. I do agree. There's one in El Nido that I liked probably more because it was more deserted. Nakban is probably the closest I've ever been to paradise. I mean, it is just perfect. It's great for swimming, no jellyfish rocks. And to have a really good time in Boracay, you kind of have to book a resort. I'm talking about like spending $100 to $400 a night. I mean, oh, thank you. Really wouldn't recommend more than 2 or 3 days here though, because after a while it's just the same beach, and there's so much to see in the Philippines. So please don't just spend like a week here and then go back home. You really need to see the rest of the Philippines. This is a great place to end off.
So there's many people die here. So I'm live here.
Oh wow.
Okay, but my mother and father died also here.
Oh, sorry.
So this already in my house here, just only rooftop remain. 2 story, but now it's rooftop remain.
Wow.
Yeah.